and welcome to this episode of Blades Military Museum. Today, we're going to talk about this Doug M42 helmet attributed to the 24th Panzer Division, which fought in the Courland Pocket in Latvia in the spring of 1945 until the surrender on May 8th of that year. The 24th Panzer Division that was at the Battle of Frauenburg, now called Saldus in Latvia, was not the same 24th Panzer Division that was mustered earlier in the war. The original division was all but destroyed or captured with the 6th Army at Stalingrad under Field Marshal Paulus. It would be reorganized and a mix of units would be redesignated the 24th Panzer Division in France in March of 1943. It would see action in places like Normandy, Italy, and then it returns to the Eastern Front. They would suffer heavy casualties in the Battle of Kiev. This helmet is an M42 variant. This was a commonly issued piece for German soldiers on the Eastern Front by 1945. While the M35 and M40 variants were also used in this theater and battle, the vent holes and their construction and the placements of them are the tells. For a long time, since I received this, we only knew this relic came from the general vicinity of Frauenburg, right in the heart of the Courland Pocket. But we finally locked in the exact piece of the tactical puzzle. This helmet was dug out of a frontline trench system in the dense forest of the Pampāļi sector, roughly 15 miles southwest of modern-day Saldus. By spring of 45, during the brutal 5th and 6th battles of Kurland, the Soviet Red Army launched massive, concentrated tank and infantry drives straight through these exact woods. Their goal was simple: smash through the southern flank, seize the crossroads at Frauenburg, and cut the entire German pocket in half. The forest around Pampāļi became an absolute steel ring. Because the roots made digging deep trenches a nightmare, the defenders built heavily reinforced timber dugouts, using the thick forest canopy as their only shield against overwhelming Soviet armor superiority. What kind of steel armor did they actually have backing them up during those final desperate months of 1945? The short answer, a literal shadow of their former strength. By March and April 1945, severe fuel shortages and a complete lack of replacement parts meant the division was down to just 20 or 30 operational armored vehicles at any given time. They weren't launching grand tank maneuvers anymore. Their armor was used strictly as mobile anti-tank pillboxes hidden just behind the frontline bunkers. The core of what was left belonged to Panzer Regiment 24, fielding late-model Panzer IVs with side armor skirts along a tiny handful of long-gun Panthers, but the real workhorses in these dense woods were the turretless assault guns like the Stug 3 and the Stug 4, plus a few Jagdpanzer IV tank destroyers. While the owner of this helmet spent his days under brutal artillery fire in the mud, the rumbling of those few surviving Panthers and Stugs just behind his trench line was the only thing keeping the Soviet armor from completely overrunning their positions. The trench lines were a place of tree bursts and hand-to-hand fighting with the Soviet troops. When we look at military history, it's easy to get lost in the massive troop movements. Arrows on a map for a cold statistic. But a relic like this forces us to pause. This steel shell didn't just spend 80 years buried in the Latvian forest. It sat in the dark floor of a collapsed bunker, serving as a silent witness to the absolute closing weeks of the Second World War. It represents a real person who was completely cut off from the rest of the world, holding a thin line in the mud. This helmet is a testament to the 24th Panzer Division and all the fighting men in the Courland Pocket, not just the Germans, but it tells the story of the Russians advancing. It tells the story of the 1st through the 6th Battle of Kurland. It tells a lot more than just what was told today, and it's a physical reminder of the Eastern Front and what the hellscape was there. Thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate your time. I hope hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would, give me a like, a share, a subscribe, a follow. Like I say in every video, I'll even take a carrier pigeon. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and thank you for watching this video. I'm Blade, and this is Blade's Military Museum.